So welcome to my channel. I do weird stuff here. Today we're working on a project. It's a long-term project, a long-term costume. I wanted a few metal pieces, primarily because they're buckles, and I think 3D print or resin isn't going to do the job. So let's talk about the subject. It's Captain Harlock, right? And if you look here, he's got two buckles. On the action figure, they're the same size. In the cartoon, they're two completely different buckles. I want them to be functional. I want them to actually support. So this is my primary Harlock buckle. I 3D printed it. I, did the whole thing. And this is what I've got for the second one, the one that holds the gun and rapier. And it's always hard to see what they are, so I decided to do something interesting on these. I took a model of the globe and cut it in east and west, shrunk it down, or flattened it, and put it in, and that's what we got. So we're going to sandcast these, right? I'm going to do the two round ones together, and then the buckle itself on its own. These metal flasks are fantastic. I just wish they had slightly larger sizes. I have one that's 4x4, but I still like a, I don't know, slightly larger. Parting compound helps the sand come out. Sand helps keep its shape. I'm using not Delft. It's Petrobond. Petrobond is a brand, not a product. This is a oil-infused sand, which happens to be Petrobond. It's kind of neat. It binds together. The harder you hit it, the more it becomes brick-like. So you hit it a lot, you put more in, you hit it a lot, you put more in, you flip it over. It holds its shape. It's pretty neat. I like scraping the edges just because that way I know I'm going to have a cleaner mold. Put the two pieces together. A little more parting compound because we just scraped some of it off. And just a repeat of what we did last time. All I'm really doing is just dumping in a bunch of sand, hitting it flat, exactly like we did for the other side. I like to prop them both at the same time if I'm doing more than one, just because. Beautiful in-focus shot of my watch. The joys of modern technology, right? More parting compound, sand goes in. It's a relatively easy process. I'm kind of really enjoying it. There's not a very steep learning curve, but there's certain things that I should do that I'm not. I should be separating the burnt clay out from the regular stuff. This stuff is normally very rosy orange. Yeah, this isn't because, well, it's got char in it. And it just darkens everything up. It still works perfectly fine. It's just not as pretty as everybody else's. It's a fun process. I'm enjoying it. I've recently I'm trying to teach my daughter that habits are important. And good habits are even more important. So I'm trying to do a few things that I don't normally do. One of them is clean up after myself as I'm working, as opposed to waiting to the end and then cleaning everything up. So yeah, I'm trying to clean as I go. It's a habit that it takes time to learn. So this is an attempt. I find it entertaining to use bullet casings for all of my Harlock stuff because, pirate and all that jazz. We'll get to that. This part I had nothing but problems with. I fought and fought to try and get it to come out of the mold. Ultimately, it does come out. It's not as good as I was hoping, but, there is a learning curve. It's not a steep learning curve, but there is one. So some of the middle stuck in. It's a brand new mold. I had just done it just 3D printed it yesterday. So usually it takes 2 or 3 actual castings before it starts popping out real easy. This was the first one. Didn't work that great. Luckily, Kim, who was much better at this than I am, made one up afterwards. She's like, "Well, if we're burning stuff, let's have some fun." And we end up pouring a couple of things here. One of the things she does is a second buckle, and it turns out fantastic. She is much better at this than I am. These, on the other hand, popped right out, which was kind of neat. But then I completely mess them up. A little tap, and it pops right out eventually. I was very excited that it actually came out nice and easy, nothing stuck, and there weren't any weird problems, and I got excited and stopped paying attention. And I poked a hole in the wrong side. Not the end of the world. Right about here is where I realized what just happened. Like, wait. Oh, son of a gun. So I have to scrape over to the bottom side of the mold. I normally prefer to pour from there. Just, it's easier. I don't have to worry about making sure that I hit the right spot for my sprue to land. Put them back together. And we burn some stuff. That's kind of fun, right? So like I said, I like using bullets. It makes me laugh. So all I'm doing is loading this thing full of bullets, lighten it up. When the bullets melt down, I put in more bullets. I actually have sprues and cut-offs and bad pours that I use more than anything else. A bucket of bullets tends to last me well. I love this sound. It seems relaxing to me. I'm going to listen to it for a second. So, I have increased my safety gear. I have an apron, I have gloves, I have a respirator, and a hat. Zinc poisoning isn't fun. So, while it goes, I decided to do some sanding. Couldn't find my glasses anywhere for the life of me, and then I realized they were on my head. So, while I wait for stuff to melt, sand a helmet. There's always something to do, right? If you can lean, you can clean. And then here we go. You noticed I'm out of shorts and flip-flops, and I'm wearing shoes and pants. I do have a long sleeve shirt on, but the sleeves are rolled up, so, you know, there is that. My elbows are exposed. This part goes fantastic. It's nice, it's easy. I've got a new longer spoon that I use to scoop stuff with. So I can just, you know, keep the fire going. Don't have to worry about cooling anything off. I just scoop up all the slag, set it aside. I hear you can remelt that. I haven't tried it yet. So now this, everything goes fine up to this point. Still went fine. I mean, we didn't have any explosions or anything stupid like that. Not this time. This is just brass. Brass is easy. Not as easy as copper, but it's still easy. Just for some reason, it didn't want to pour right, so it poured everywhere. I probably overheated it a bit, and it was a little more liquid than I was expecting. And this just poured right out the sides. All right, make sure it was pushed all the way down. Pour again. And just molten metal, not much you can do about it. I got a bucket of water off to the side here that I'm dipping it in. So at this point I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't even care anymore. I'm only doing this because it's done and now I have to do the thing. And it is still extremely hot. It looks like it's cool, it's really not. So the two hemispheres here, just from jump, turned out fantastic. And I was like, oh, that's pretty okay then, huh? And it's hard to see them this way because, again, the right side is now facing away from me. Normally it's so I can reveal and I can see what's going on. Well, yeah. Putting the sprues on the wrong side really didn't help with that. This one turned out okay. I melted it again because it didn't turn out perfect. And the next one turns out much better. It was not bad. It looks pretty cool. So here it is. This is the final thing, right? There are Emeraldus buckles on the left, Harlocks on the right, and then the second set of Harlocks is there. If you zoom in real quick, any second now, you can see how I wanted a real subtle look to the globes, and it turned out fantastic. There's still a lot to clean up on this. I have the whole field behind him to clean. But other than that, I am so happy with how these turned out. I mean, that's fantastic. It's a cool, right? I'm going to drill and tap the backside. So that's how it's going to get attached. The belt's going to go through the edges, and these are going to lock that in place. I'm really excited about this. Kim's got the capelet on a mannequin. I may jump in for Harlocks and do it and film it so I can see it, just because I really want documentation on how I do a lot of stuff. Sometimes I just do the thing and don't even think about it. So filming for YouTube has definitely slowed me down a lot, but it has caused me to pay more attention to the things I am doing. So I am grateful for that. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. If you made it this far, maybe give us a subscribe if you're not already. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I do weird stuff like this all the time. I'm currently working on Veritech helmets. I don't even know if that's in frame. So that's next week's probably going to be a Bondo and painting of one of those. If that's your thing, you know, stick around. If not, thanks for watching the video. Hope you have a great day.